Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another Galactic Challenge video. Hope you're ready because today it's going to be one of those where it'll take a few tries, let's put it that way, to get it done, obviously depending on what you've got on your roster. So today we are taken to the planet of Ilum, and to be honest, quite quickly this Ilum modifier is becoming to be the most annoying, I think, modifier of them all. It's even worse than Steadfast Retribution, at least for me personally. Anyway, I'll talk about it once I get to that. As always, I'll cover the modifiers, the feats, and then show you the battles that allowed me to get max rewards today. So I've got 3 battles in total for you, so I'll do a full droid battle and then we'll do 2 mixed teams for the 2 remaining feats. So 3 battles in total. As always, there'll be YouTube chapters below so you can skip through if you want, otherwise let's just get started. So the test of strength, as mentioned before, the Ilum modifier is becoming, at least for me, the most annoying modifier because everybody starts with 10 stacks of hesitation, and anytime you use a special ability you lose 1 stack. So while you have hesitation, you can't assist and you can't gain bonus turn meter. A lot of the teams rely heavily on mechanics, either assist or bonus turn meter, to get something done, especially here in Galactic Challenge, just where the enemies are totally juiced up. So definitely extremely annoying modifier to deal with, but you know, there are ways around it, as you will see, so hopefully you can knock this out as well. In terms of the player modifier, it doesn't really help us a whole lot. Yeah, we get a little bit of extra offense, and then whenever we score a critical hit, we will be inflicting target lock, and then whenever we damage somebody with target lock, we recover 10% protection. But the Jedi, especially Yoda and Revan, they're hitting so hard, 10% recovery protection is not really that helpful, but hey, any bonus will take it for these challenges. In terms of Jedi, they do have stacking critical damage, so the longer the battle goes on, the harder they'll be hitting, so you definitely don't want to drag this one out for too long. Okay, so for the feats themselves, well, they are straightforward, but as mentioned before, the global modifier thing complicates a little bit. You have to inflict damage over time 30 times, and then as well bring balance, win with at least 1 light side and 1 dark side character surviving. So we've got 2 teams that can knock both of these out in one battle, so you know, hopefully whatever they'll show you will help you out. And yeah, the full droid one. Oh boy. Anyway, speaking of droids, let's just start off first with the droid battle. So this is the team that I use to get max rewards. Obviously there are various compositions, but you would definitely need obviously General Grievous there for some big hits, and then T3 is key as well with his mechanics, which we'll go into it later. Let me just show you mods. You will have luckily the enemy is not too fast, so if you mod your guys for speed, you should be able to, you know, more or less get a jump start on them. We're obviously bringing IG and HK, they both got NAOE, so hopefully we can do some big damage. I got Probe Droid here. Now unfortunately he's only gear 11, so he's not that durable, but what I did was I did make Probe Droid the fastest, so he can go out with his detectability and dispel all buffs. So basically what will happen is, the way I adjusted my speeds, that Revan will go first, then Yoda will go spread his buffs, put tenacity up, put foresight up, and then here Probe Droid will go straight after Yoda, and he can just go ahead and then remove all those buffs, which means that then we can get our target locks going and everything. However, T3 is absolutely crucial here, so I made him a little bit slower than Probe Droid, so he goes straight after and he can do his AoE as well. But what you will need most likely for this in order to work, you will need both Zetas here on T3. So the first Zeta, Combat Logic, it does a lot of things here, but most importantly, droid allies will have plus 8% critical damage for each debuff on the enemy team. So the more debuffs enemies have, the harder, especially your Grievous, will be hitting. To boost this damage further, as well, if you put a Zeta on Master Gearhead, what Zeta will actually add is that your droid allies will have 100% defense penetration from T3. Now my T3 is only gear 11, so his armor penetration is only 26. So definitely if you do have a relic T3, this will be better because one of the gear 13 pieces will add an additional 100% armor penetration, so he'll have 126 armor penetration. So definitely if you have it relic, it will be much easier. Also the key thing here is that T3 survives long enough, because as soon as T3 dies off, you lose all the damage basically for your Grievous's AoEs and big hits. So if you do have low geared, you'll have to do what I do. We have to restart until like Revan starts off, not to like with an AoE or something like that. But if obviously your T3 is relic, he should be able to survive an AoE from both Yoda and Revan, and that should give you enough time that you can take these guys out. Other than that, you'll have to restart until you get the starting sequence similar to what I showed you. And finally, the AoE here as well will apply some more debuffs on the enemies, which means more damage. That's why you want Probe Droid to go first to remove all those juicy buffs that Yoda will spread. Alright, let's hop in the battle and let me show you how this goes. You'll have to I had to restart quite a few times in order for this to work. So this is what I did. I waited for Revan to use strategic advantage instead of any other abilities. Yoda spreads buffs, and then you go ahead, do an AoE there as well, another AoE, so you can see doing good damage here, another AoE, and let's go ahead, and this now wiped out their berries. There we go. So again, a bit of RNG here, obviously who they will go for, who they will mark. So definitely, unfortunately, I lost their T3, which is not ideal. If they would take out somebody else here, I would still have T3 alive. So then this AoE from Grievous would wipe out everybody. Luckily, I was able to wipe out their Revan. Probe Droid nuked the other two, and then I just have to finish off Yoda here for the victory. And this got me now the full droid feat on tier 10. So definitely a lot of RNG involved, especially because of Revan and Mark and everything, but hopefully if you're struggling, just keep restarting until you get the starting sequence that I showed you, where Revan just uses strategic advantage. And remember, because of the global modifier, nobody will be called to assist. Because otherwise, if Revan marks one of your guys, especially low gear T3, or if he starts off with an AoE sometimes, he'll do an AoE, and it looks like he always swaps their meter with Yoda, and Yoda will do his AoE, and then your low gear Probe Droid and T3 will just get defeated. So just keep restarting until you get the starting sequence that I showed you. However, if you do have everybody relic, I think it should be a lot easier, because you don't have to worry about them getting killed by a couple of AoEs straight out of the gate. Alright, so the difficult part out of the way, let's now have a look at the other two feats. So we have to apply damage over times, well, have to attempt. So in beginning they will start with tenacity up, so even when you do Force Crush, you're still attempting to apply, so that will still count. So just start off with the Force Crush and you should be good to go. Bringing in their Nihilus for Annihilate, and then Malak obviously to constantly fear the guys so they don't get to do a whole lot, and Traya there for the lead whenever they attack out of turn, although they won't be attacking a lot out of turn, just when they counter attack. And obviously Hermit Yoda, he's a light side unit, so we need him for the bring balance feat. Anyway, it's a straightforward battle, to be honest. Actually, fun enough, Nihilus gains a lot of bonus turn meter because of these stacks of hesitation, even though he's not supposed to gain bonus turn meter. Anyway, he does gain basically 100% turn meter to begin with. He increases cooldowns, then Vader can go. Vader obviously will get lots of speed as well. We got here Sith allies, we've got Jedi enemies, so Vader most likely will go next. You can just go around, do Force Crush, Merciless and things like that, what normal you would do with Vader. And now just kind of taking our time here, make sure to get a shock out there, so you get a taunt over on Malak, so they'll have to keep hitting him. There we go, let's go ahead isolate Yoda so he doesn't spread buffs on everybody else. They mark Traya, Jedi Revan, remember he's hard-coded to mark Traya always, so you don't have to worry about him marking somebody else. And Traya is very durable, so hopefully she should be able to take a few hits. And then let just Vader do his Vader thing. Nihilus will eventually get his Annihilate out, so we can just go ahead insta-kill somebody without worrying about Savior, without worrying about Julie bringing anybody back. I decided to take Jedi Revan out first, because he's the only one that can ignore taunt. Yoda was isolated anyway, so he wasn't gonna do a whole lot anyways. And that's just the case to a little bit spread the damage between Barris and Julie, just to make sure you get enough of those Force Crushes out, that you get 30 damage over times done. But I didn't have to retry, this was my first attempt. Very easy, very straightforward if you do have this kind of team lined up here. But to be honest, any team with Darth Vader that you can get to work should be good. This is just the one I came up with. Now I want to show you another team here as well. Well, maybe not so much team, but IG lead. IG-88 lead. Okay, so let's go hop in now. So as you will see, it doesn't even matter who you bring in here. This is just kind of a team comp that I put together. It was able to get it done. So we got all light sides. So if IG-88 survives, this will also complete bring balance feat. But mainly I wanted to highlight IG-88's leadership here, because as mentioned, whenever you critically hit those guys, you will be applying damage over time on them. So only thing what you have to do is land critical hits like 30 times and you should be good to go with damage over times. So if you have Galactic Legends, use Galactic Legend, whatever you've got really here. This is kind of the team comp I put together. Obviously Commander Ahsoka Tano, she's got an insta-kill. However, insta-kill does not prevent revives from her, so Julie can bring somebody back, but at least what allows you to do is knock out a Revan in the beginning, so you don't have to worry about Savior. So whenever you do pop Whistling Birds with your best Commando, whenever you then with Whistling Birds defeat, for example, Yoda, because he's the squishiest, Whistling Birds ability does prevent revives. So it kind of allows you a little bit to get you know, Yoda out without worrying about revives and Savior mechanics if you do unleash Force Sleep on Jedi Knight Revan. And you know, as soon as you get Yoda out, they don't have damage, and hopefully, you know, you can quickly kill Revan off the second time as well. So there goes Revan, and I'm going to go ahead now finish off Yoda there. He's not coming back from Whistling Birds. However, Julie there, he can bring back Revan. That's why I tried to take Julie out as fast as I could, but unfortunately I had him stunned. But then Basti, she cleansed them off, and also whenever Basti gets a turn, they get Battle Meditation, and I think with Battle Meditation they got like 60% chance to counterattack, so it's a little bit annoying Julie counterattacking. So he brought Revan back, and then with Revan back in, Savior triggered when I wanted to defeat Bastila. So I guess, you know, it takes a little bit of time with this team that I'm showing you. But again, I'm not saying this is the best team. I just team I put together. I was able to get it to work to highlight IG-88's lead. I also had a play around like with IG-88 led Bounty Hunters team. I was also was able to get something done. So maybe there's one way you can explore as well, but probably if you do have one of the Galactic Legends like, you know, Kylo or Lord Vader, I don't know, Sith Eternal is good versus Jedi, right? Whatever you've got, to be honest, just put IG-88 in the lead and hopefully you can knock these guys out. There you go, Whistling Birds defeating these guys as well. And that's it really. Obviously, in terms of the other two feats like damage over times or bring balance, a lot of flexibility here. Whatever you got, just a couple of teams, for example, just showing you Darth Vader and IG-88, you know, their mechanics of applying damage over times. And as mentioned for the droid one, it's going to be, I guess, as easy as good as your T3 is. Probably you can, even with lower gear than mine, you can get T3 to work. Obviously you will need a little bit of RNG luck there, as I showed you. So hopefully this was useful and helpful, showing you how I got max rewards. So thank you for watching, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.